The hills of southern folklore echo with tales of the strange and unexplained. Few stories hold the power to chill and captivate quite like that of the Bell Witch. Our journey takes us to Adams, Tennessee, a small town that's filled with history and mystery. Here in the early 19th century, the Bell family encountered a force they could neither understand nor escape. The Bell Witch legend is more than just a ghost story. It's a blend of historical fact and eerie folklore. The story draws us into a world where the line between reality and the supernatural blurs. Get ready to journey back in time, to a place where an unseen entity held a family captive to its terror. The Bell family moved to the Red River area, now known as Adams, Tennessee, in the early 1800s as part of the westward expansion that was common during that time. John Bell, the head of the family, was originally from North Carolina. In 1804, he decided to move his family to Tennessee in search of better opportunities and more fertile land. The Red River area was known for its fertile soil, which was ideal for farming. As an experienced farmer, John Bell sought to establish a prosperous plantation. The region was part of what was then the western frontier, offering large tracts of land at relatively low prices. Like many settlers, John Bell was motivated by the prospect of economic growth. By acquiring and cultivating new land, he hoped to increase his wealth and provide a better life for his family. The move to the Red River area allowed the Bell family to expand their farming operations significantly. They purchased a large plot of land, and John Bell quickly established a successful farm, growing crops like corn, cotton, and tobacco. Initially, the Bell family was known in the local community for their success as farmers. They were well respected in the area, with John Bell being regarded as a prosperous and upstanding citizen. However, the family's popularity skyrocketed after the strange and terrifying events associated with the Bell Witch began in 1817. Jesse was the eldest son of John and Lucy Bell. He was already an adult by the time the family moved to Tennessee, and was not as directly involved in the Bell Witch incidents as some of his younger siblings. John Bell Jr. was a central figure in the Bell Witch story. He inherited the farm after his father's death and was one of the few who reportedly communicated directly with the entity. As the paranormal activities intensified, word spread throughout the region about the bizarre occurrences at the Bell farm. The Bell Witch legend became a topic of conversation in the community and beyond. The family's experiences were considered so unusual and frightening that people from all over came to witness the events for themselves. The involvement of prominent individuals, including General Andrew Jackson, who later became President of the United States, added to the family's notoriety. Jackson is said to have visited the Bell farm and experienced some of the paranormal phenomena firsthand, further fueling interest in the story. The story of the Bell Witch captivated the public's imagination. The idea that an unseen force could torment an entire family, interact with people, and even cause physical harm was both terrifying and fascinating. This widespread interest made the Bell family one of the most famous households in the region. The legend of the Bell Witch has persisted for over 2 centuries, with the Bell family's experiences becoming a significant part of American folklore. The Bell Witch Cave, located near the original Bell farm, continues to draw tourists and paranormal enthusiasts, ensuring that the Bell family remains a well-known name. In summary, the Bell family moved to the Red River area, seeking economic opportunities and success in farming. Their popularity, however, stemmed from the infamous hauntings they experienced, which turned them into central figures in one of the most enduring legends in American history. The encounter with the strange dog-like creature occurred in 1817, which marks the beginning of the Bell Witch haunting. The creature was described as having the body of a dog, but with some features that were distinctly abnormal, such as the head of a rabbit or some other unusual animal. Some versions of the story describe it as having a dark or black fur coat, while others mention glowing eyes that made it appear especially menacing. John Bell was out walking in his cornfield one evening when he noticed the strange animal in the distance. The creature appeared to be lurking on the edge of the property, watching him intently. Bell was puzzled by its appearance, as it didn't resemble any animal he had seen before. Concerned and curious, John Bell decided to shoot at the creature. He raised his rifle and fired, but to his astonishment, the creature either vanished or was unaffected by the shot. Some accounts say it simply disappeared into thin air, while others suggest it ran off swiftly, leaving Belle bewildered. The appearance of the strange dog-like creature is often seen as a harbinger of the Bell Witch's arrival. It is believed that the creature was either an early manifestation of the witch herself or a familiar spirit sent to warn or intimidate the Bell family. The entity began to physically torment the Bell family, particularly John Bell and his daughter, Betsy. Betsy was subjected to slaps, pinches, and hair pulling, while John Bell experienced strange physical ailments, including a swelling of the throat and twitching of the face. Over time, the spirit began to speak, identifying itself as Kate, which is why it is often referred to as Kate Batts' witch, or simply the Bell Witch. The entity claimed to be the spirit of a woman named Kate Batts, a neighbor of the Bell family with whom John Bell had reportedly had a land dispute. However, there is little evidence to support this claim, and some believe the entity was something more ancient and malevolent. The Bell Witch was particularly hostile toward John Bell and Betsy. It openly declared that it intended to kill John Bell and prevent Betsy from marrying a local man named Joshua Gardner. Whenever Betsy and Joshua were together, the witch would make its presence known in disruptive and terrifying ways. For example, the couple would hear strange noises, feel cold drafts, or experience sudden gusts of wind. The witch would also create disturbances like rattling chains, eerie voices, and other unsettling sounds to create an atmosphere of fear and discomfort. These constant disruptions made it difficult for the couple to enjoy their time together. The witch extended its influence beyond just physical attacks and verbal threats. It created an overall hostile environment for the couple, often making it clear that it would not allow their union to take place. This pervasive sense of dread and unease affected not only Betsy, but also Joshua and the entire Bell family. The witch's constant presence and interference wore down Betsy's resolve over time. Despite the family's efforts to rid themselves of the entity, including seeking help from local ministers, and even then, General Andrew Jackson, the witch's presence only grew stronger. Apparitions, grotesque and otherworldly, materialized in the shadows, their eyes burning with an infernal light. Objects flew across rooms with violent force. One particularly chilling encounter involved a visitor to the farm, a skeptical doctor who had come to witness the events firsthand. As he sat in the Bell family's parlor, a shadowy figure materialized before him, taking the form of a hideous black cat with glowing red eyes. The doctor, his skepticism shattered, fled the house in terror, vowing never to return. The entity tormented them throughout the night, pulling at their bedclothes, scratching at their skin, and whispering threats into their ears. As the haunting reached its peak, the entity began to manifest in increasingly bizarre and terrifying ways. Glowing orbs of light danced through the darkness, leaving trails of spectral fire in their wake. The entity tormented the family for years, with its activities becoming more public as neighbors and visitors also witnessed the strange occurrences. The witch reportedly sang hymns, quoted scripture, and engaged in conversation with people, often mocking and taunting them. In 1820, after years of relentless torment, John Bell's health began to deteriorate rapidly. On December 20th, 1820, he was found dead in his bed. A vial of strange liquid was discovered nearby, and the entity took credit for his death, claiming to have poisoned him. The Bell Witch's voice was reportedly heard at his funeral, laughing and singing joyfully. After John Bell's death, the entity's activity lessened, though it did not entirely cease. It continued to harass Betsy, eventually causing her to break off her engagement with Joshua Gardner. As the torment continued, Betsy became increasingly isolated. The witch's actions discouraged friends and neighbors from visiting the Bell home, and Betsy found herself cut off from social support. This isolation likely contributed to her eventual decision to end the engagement, as she may have felt she had no other choice but to comply with the witch's demands. The witch's relentless persecution eventually broke Betsy's spirit. Her decision to cancel his engagement seemed to satisfy the witch, as the intensity of the haunting lessened somewhat. Betsy later married Richard Powell, a school teacher who had shown interest in her for years. There is speculation that the Bell Witch might have favored this match, or that Richard Powell himself may have had some connection to the witch, though these claims remain speculative and are part of the broader folklore. The witch's interference in Betsy Bell's engagement is one of the most chilling aspects of the Bell Witch legend. It showcases the entity's malevolence and its ability to exert control over the lives of the Bell family members. Particularly when it came to preventing a union, it strongly opposed. In 1821, the witch declared that it would leave, but would return in 7 years. True to its word, it returned in 1828, primarily interacting with John Bell Jr., one of John Bell's sons. The entity had long conversations with him about the past, present, and future, but eventually left again, stating it would return in 107 years. However, there were no significant reports of its return in 1935. The Bell Witch haunting left an indelible mark on the small town of Adams, Tennessee. The story, passed down through generations, became an integral part of the town's identity, a chilling tale that drew curious visitors from far and wide, eager to catch a glimpse of the supernatural. The Bell Farm, once a symbol of prosperity and family unity, transformed into a site of pilgrimage for paranormal enthusiasts and thrill-seekers alike. Even today, over 2 centuries after the events that made it infamous, the Bell Witch story continues to captivate the imagination. The legend has been featured in countless books, documentaries, and fictionalized accounts, each retelling adding new layers of intrigue and speculation to the original narrative. The Bell Witch, it seemed, had transcended its origins, evolving from a local legend into a fixture of American folklore. The story, with its themes of revenge, the supernatural, and the vulnerability of the human spirit, resonated with audiences across the country, solidifying its place in the annals of paranormal history. Over the years, historians, researchers, and paranormal investigators have attempted to shed light on the events that transpired at the Bell Farm, seeking rational explanations for the seemingly inexplicable. Some theories suggest that the Bell Witch haunting was a hoax, a clever fabrication orchestrated by the Bell family themselves or mischievous neighbors seeking to exploit their gullibility. Others propose more mundane explanations, attributing the strange occurrences to natural phenomena, mass hysteria, or even the ingestion of hallucinogenic substances. Despite these attempts at rationalization, the Bell Witch legend persists, fueled by the enduring human fascination with the unknown. The story, whether rooted in fact or entirely fictional, serves as a potent reminder of the limits of human understanding, the shadowy corners of our world that defy easy explanation. The Bell Witch Cave is a significant landmark associated with the Bell Witch legend, one of America's most famous ghost stories. Located near Adams, Tennessee, the cave is believed by many to be the place where the Bell Witch spirit retreated after tormenting the Bell family in the early 19th century. The cave has become a popular destination for paranormal enthusiasts and tourists interested in the legend. The Bell Witch Cave is situated near the original Bell family farm in Adams, Tennessee. The farm itself was located along the Red River, and the cave is on a bluff overlooking the river. The cave is relatively small, stretching about 490 feet in length. It features typical cave formations such as stalactites and stalagmites, and contains a small underground stream. The entrance to the cave is a simple opening in the rock, which leads into the main chamber. The Bell Witch Cave is not mentioned in the earliest accounts of the Bell Witch legend, but over time, it has become closely associated with the story. Some versions of the Bell Witch legend suggest that after the death of John Bell in 1820 and the subsiding of the haunting, the spirit took up residence in the nearby cave. The cave was believed to be a natural hiding place for the entity, away from the Bell family's home. One popular story involves Betsy Bell and some friends exploring the cave. According to the legend, during their visit, a young boy became stuck in a narrow passage. Just as panic began to set in, a disembodied voice, believed to be the Bell Witch, spoke out, reassuring them that the boy would be freed. Shortly after, the boy was miraculously released, and the group quickly left the cave, convinced that the spirit had intervened. Many believe that the cave remains a hotspot for paranormal activity. Visitors have reported hearing unexplained voices, feeling cold spots, and even seeing apparitions. Some also claim that objects in the cave have moved on their own, or that they've felt an unseen presence while inside. The Bell Witch Cave has become a major attraction for those interested in the paranormal. It is open to the public and guided tours are offered, especially during the Halloween season. The tours often include a recounting of the Bell Witch legend and allow visitors to explore the cave's interior. The cave and the surrounding area are privately owned, and efforts have been made to preserve the site for future generations. The cave is considered a significant part of local history and folklore. The Bell Witch Cave is not only a focal point for the legend, but also a symbol of the region's rich storytelling tradition. The cave's association with the Bell Witch has been the subject of books, documentaries, and movies, further cementing its place in American folklore. Over the years, the Bell Witch Cave has attracted numerous paranormal investigators. These investigations have yielded various reports of unexplained phenomena, though definitive evidence remains elusive. Despite this, the cave continues to be a point of fascination for those who believe in the supernatural. The guided tour typically includes a walk through the cave, where guides share stories about the Bell Witch and the history of the site. The property includes a replica of the Bell family cabin, where visitors can view artifacts and learn more about the Bell Witch legend. Guides often recount not only the classic Bell Witch tales, but also modern stories from visitors who claim to have experienced something strange during their visit. The Bell Witch Cave continues to play a significant role in keeping the legend of the Bell Witch alive. It serves as a tangible connection to the past and a physical location where the mystery and intrigue of the Bell Witch story can be explored. Whether viewed as a historical site, a paranormal hotspot, or a cultural landmark, the Bell Witch Cave remains a central piece of the Bell Witch narrative. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to subscribe because it helps the channel to continue to bring you more ghost stories from around the world. Thanks for watching.